we commemorate today Fast of Tammuz. Very tragic day. In fact, this is presumably, it's not presumably, actually it is the first tragic event where the Jewish people failed, the sin of the golden calf. And then Moshe Rabbeinu comes down 40 days later and he breaks the Luchot. That was the first tragedy the Jewish people experienced after coming out of Mitzrayim, prior to Tisha B'Av, because that happened at the spies. This happened already by the sin of the golden calf. At the moment Moshe Rabbeinu broke the Luchot, the level of the Jewish people went down drastically. That is probably what led to the lowering of the level, spiritual level of the Jewish people. And that happened on the 17th of Tammuz, Nishtabru Luchot. And therefore, the Chachamim, the Nevi'im, made this day of Fast of Tammuz as a day of mourning, a day of fasting. Another 4 things took place, which we all know, is they made the siege, the Romans and the Babylons made a siege around Yerushalayim, and they breached the walls on the 17th of Tammuz. And that was the beginning of a lot of tragedies to the Jewish people at both Bet HaMikdash, the first Bet HaMikdash and the second Bet HaMikdash. Furthermore, it says, Butal HaTamid. The Jewish people were sacrificing, there was service in the Bet HaMikdash up to the 17th of Tammuz. From the 17th of Tammuz, they didn't sacrifice the Korban Tamid anymore. And that's a very significant change in Jewish history, when there was not anymore the sacrifice, the daily sacrifice, which was the service in the Bet HaMikdash, wasn't done anymore. Furthermore, in our history, there is a very tragic event of someone called Tammuz, which was an emperor, and he burnt the Torah on the 17th of Tammuz, took a Sefer Torah to annoy the Jewish people, to upset them. He burnt the Sefer Torah. Furthermore, traditionally it says that a tzelem, an idol, was placed inside the Bet HaMikdash. That also took place on the 17th of Tammuz. All of these are mentioned in our Selichot, which we do on Fast of Tammuz. The Rambam writes, Yesh sham yamim shekol Israel mit'anim bahem. There are certain days where all Jewish people who consider themselves as Jewish people fast on the 17th of Tammuz, mipnei hatzarot, because of the tragic events which took place on that day. But we have to understand, what is the purpose of a fast day? People are more concerned about them being hungry, thirsty, and suffering, rather of the outcome of that supposed to be bring us to. That was the whole purpose, is in order to do teshuvah. Says the Rambam, כדי לעורר את הלבבות ולפתוח דרכי התשובה, to awaken our hearts and to open up our pathways to do teshuvah, to come back to Hashem. We're so distant for Hashem that we don't even realize what's missing in our life. And in order to awaken us, we stop taking care of your body. Stop taking care of your eating and drinking. Now, connect with Hashem. Try and understand where you're going wrong here. Why are we still fasting this fast? It'll be a remembrance of our deeds, our bad deeds. Remember, if yet we haven't restored the Bet HaMikdash, we haven't restored the service in the Bet HaMikdash, then you should know that we are on the same situation our ancestors were prior to the destruction or prior to these tragedies happening. Because that's what Kosher. Through remembering these things, we will come back to rectify our words and to come back to Hashem. So therefore, we must not separate ourselves from the rest of the tzibur. If the tzibur are fasting, we must take part in the fast. You come to do the tefillot on the fast days. It's very important to come and join minyanim at the time of fast days. Because there's nothing when people unite together to pray to Hashem. The teshuvah is much easier accepted by Hashem. And a person should focus. The fast day is not to entertain yourself and to pass the day, what we call. Not at all. It's in order for people to focus and understand where they're failing in the deeds. So people should try and listen to Shiurei Torah, listen to Divrei Torah which are relevant to the fast day. Come to the Bet HaKnesset to participate in the tefillot, because otherwise you'll find it very hard to understand what exactly you're fasting for. And that's the purpose of the fast. And Bezrat Hashem, we've guaranteed that all the fasts are going to be turned into Yamim Tovim. We need more Yamim Tovim. In the month of Tammuz, we need a Yom Tov. In Av, we need a Yom Tov. So therefore, the more and the quicker we do for the fast, the quicker Hashem will turn it into Yamim Tovim. Ve'amet ve'ashalom e'avu.